Story 1. In the heart of the countryside, nestled among fields of golden wheat and corn, stood an old farmhouse, its weathered facade bearing witness to decades of neglect and decay. The locals whispered of its haunted past, tales of strange lights flickering in the windows at night, and eerie whispers carried on the wind. One summer evening, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to investigate the rumors surrounding the farmhouse. Armed with flashlights and nerves of steel, they ventured into the darkness, their footsteps muffled by the tall grass swaying in the moonlit breeze. As they approached the farmhouse, a sense of unease settled over them, but they pushed aside their fears and pressed on, eager to uncover the truth. The front door creaked open with a deafening groan, revealing a dimly lit interior shrouded in shadows. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay, the floorboards creaking underfoot as they cautiously made their way through the abandoned rooms. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meaning lost to time, and faded portraits stared down at them with empty eyes. As they explored further, they began to hear strange noises echoing through the empty halls. Whispers carried on the wind, the sound of footsteps pacing back and forth, and the faint rustle of something moving in the darkness. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, sending shivers down their spines. Panic surged through their veins as they scrambled to find the source of the sound, their flashlights trembling in their hands. In the dim light, they stumbled upon a hidden staircase leading down into the depths of the farmhouse. With trepidation, they descended into the darkness, their hearts pounding in their chests as they ventured into the unknown. As they reached the bottom of the stairs, they found themselves in a maze of forgotten tunnels and hidden chambers, their walls lined with shelves filled with jars containing strange, unidentifiable substances. With each step, the air grew colder, and the sense of foreboding intensified. They could feel eyes watching them from the shadows, unseen hands reaching out to grasp at their souls. Suddenly, they heard a low, guttural growl emanating from the darkness ahead. Frozen in terror, they watched as a pair of glowing red eyes appeared in the distance, moving closer with each passing moment. With nowhere left to run, they huddled together in fear as the creature emerged from the shadows, a grotesque, twisted figure with gnarled claws and razor-sharp teeth, its eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. As it lunged towards them with a deafening roar, they closed their eyes and prayed for salvation, knowing that they had stumbled upon something far more sinister than they could have ever imagined. And as the darkness consumed them, the farmhouse echoed with the screams of the lost souls who had dared to enter its haunted halls, their fates forever entwined with the horrors lurking within. Story 2. In the heart of the remote countryside, surrounded by sprawling fields of swaying wheat and corn, loomed the ominous silhouette of Whispering Fields Manor. This grand estate, once a symbol of opulence and prosperity, now stood abandoned and decaying, its once grand halls echoing with the whispers of the past. Local legends spoke of the tragic history that befell the manor and the family who had once called it home. It was said that the patriarch, Lord Abernathy, had made a pact with dark forces in a desperate bid for power and immortality. But the price of his ambition was steep, and the manor became cursed, trapping the souls of those who dwelled within its walls for eternity. Despite the warnings of the townsfolk, a group of curious adventurers decided to explore the mysteries of Whispering Fields Manor one fateful evening. Ignoring the eerie silence that hung over the fields like a shroud, they approached the manor with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. As they crossed the threshold into the abandoned mansion, they were greeted by a chilling gust of wind that seemed to whisper their names. The air inside was heavy with the scent of decay, and the once grand furnishings lay in disarray, covered in a thick layer of dust. Undeterred by the eerie atmosphere, the group pressed on, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls as they ventured deeper into the heart of the manor. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meaning lost to time, and faded portraits stared down at them with hollow eyes. As they explored further, they began to experience strange phenomena, doors slamming shut of their own accord, spectral figures darting in and out of the shadows, and disembodied whispers that seemed to echo in their minds. In one particularly decrepit room, they stumbled upon a collection of old journals belonging to the Abernathy family. The pages spoke of dark rituals and forbidden knowledge, detailing the family's descent into madness and despair. As they delved deeper into the manor's secrets, the group became increasingly aware of a malevolent presence lurking in the shadows, watching their every move with unseen eyes. Their nerves frayed and their senses heightened. They realized that they were not alone in the abandoned mansion. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the halls, sending shivers down their spines. Panic gripped the group as they scrambled to find the source of the sound, their flashlights flickering in the darkness. In the dim light, they caught glimpses of twisted apparitions and grotesque figures lurking in the corners of their vision. Desperate to escape the horrors that lurked within the manor, they raced towards the exit, their hearts pounding in their chests. But just as they reached the front door, it slammed shut with a deafening bang, trapping them inside the cursed mansion. With no way out and the malevolent presence closing in around them, they realized with dawning horror that they had become ensnared in the grip of Whispering Fields Manor. As the darkness consumed them, their screams joined the chorus of the lost souls who had dared to enter the accursed mansion, their fate sealed within its haunted halls for all eternity. Story 3. In the heart of the countryside, nestled among acres of lush farmland, stood a forgotten farmhouse. Surrounded by fields of golden wheat and gently swaying corn stalks, this weathered old house seemed frozen in time, its peeling paint and sagging roof bearing witness to decades of neglect. The farmhouse had long been abandoned, its windows boarded up and its doors hanging askew on rusted hinges. But despite its dilapidated appearance, the house had a haunting allure, drawing the curious and the brave to its remote location. One summer evening, a group of friends decided to explore the mysteries of the forgotten farmhouse. Armed with nothing but flashlights and a sense of adventure, they set out into the fading light, their laughter echoing across the fields. As they approached the farmhouse, a chill wind swept through the fields, sending shivers down their spines. Ignoring the ominous feeling that settled over them, they pushed open the creaking gate and made their way towards the crumbling structure. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet as they ventured further into the darkness. Cobwebs clung to the walls like tattered curtains, and the sound of scurrying rodents echoed through the empty rooms. Despite their growing unease, the group pressed on, their curiosity overcoming their fear. They explored the abandoned bedrooms, their flashlights revealing faded wallpaper peeling from the walls and mold creeping up the corners. In one room, they stumbled upon a collection of old photographs scattered across the floor. The images depicted a family long gone, their faces worn and faded with age. But as they examined the photographs, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. As they continued their exploration, strange things began to happen. Doors slammed shut behind them, and eerie whispers seemed to drift through the air. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and the temperature dropped until their breath hung in the air like fog. Suddenly, they heard a sound from the depths of the farmhouse, a low, guttural moan that sent chills down their spines. Frozen in terror, they listened as the sound grew louder, echoing through the empty halls like a ghostly lament. With mounting dread, they followed the sound to the cellar door, its ancient wood groaning in protest as they pushed it open. Descending into the darkness below, they found themselves in a labyrinth of crumbling tunnels and forgotten chambers. In the dim light of their flashlights, they saw strange symbols carved into the walls and strange artifacts scattered across the floor. But before they could investigate further, they heard a voice, a whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. As they turned to flee, they felt something brush against their skin, a cold, clammy hand reaching out from the darkness. With a scream, they ran for the stairs, their hearts pounding in their chests as they raced towards the safety of the outside world. But as they burst through the farmhouse door, they realized with horror that they were not alone. Standing before them was a figure cloaked in shadows, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light that pierced the darkness. Frozen in terror, they watched as the figure advanced, its outstretched hand reaching for them with claw-like fingers. With nowhere left to run, they huddled together, their screams echoing across the fields as the darkness closed in around them. And as the last echoes of their terror faded into the night, the forgotten farmhouse stood silent once more, its secrets buried deep within its crumbling walls, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to wander into its haunted halls.